Catching Voyager. Yeah. This one I got from the Star Trek first movie. The idea that Voyager, and if you watch the first Star Trek movie in '79, was that Voyager was somehow captured by aliens and then sent back and became some killing machine rampaging across the galaxy. And so I had the idea of what it would it be, like.
Dan?
Yeah.
Oh, you're still there. Okay. Yeah, this is a poem that distills an idea. It's unlike a lot of your poems which get into the mind of a character, although this still does. But it has a great title, which is Catching Voyager. You obviously don't have to have seen the Star Trek series to be able to appreciate this too. And then 2679, which is presumably the year, but it could be also the mark of the Voyager and all sorts of things. Then it has lines that talk about the universe and ideas related to the universe, and also how this massive creature isn't sentient. It's that idea about how the stars, will they give more meaning unto the universe in a way that they can never embrace the full sentience of human beings, despite us being in a way far less meaningful to the way the cosmos spins. And this is a very interesting poem using that. I will say that this is a kind of poem that's an outlier in your work, like the Holy Sonnets, in that they don't use allusion as forcefully as many of your other works. The Holy Sonnets, I would have expected a different poet to have written, but they are so shorn of most allusions and are just universes unto themselves and don't connect with different ideas, although some of them do, and they connect within each other, so there's still the Schneiderian quality of them. But that is something that is interesting about this poem, in that is a way an outlier of your normal style.
Well, you have to always, again, I say, sometimes the only into a poem will be its title. If I do a poem, for example, that would be like Holy Sonnet 43, that's not going to give you an into a title. So what it become, what's there on the page is interesting. There's a lot of poems that I do though that if you took away the title, and I don't like seeing when artists don't use all the tools that they possibly could at their command. I've known a few poets who thought that titles didn't do anything, but
Frank O'Hara is obviously the most infamous of that crowd, in that
yeah,
his titles were some of the most banal and useless out there,
but
outside of a
you
few
can take a
exceptions.
title and set up something. I've got a number of poems where you have three or four lines of a title that sets something up that the poem then plays against. Epigraphs you can use in interesting ways, and most people don't do that. Again, they settle for the most obvious things. The title says something that is obvious, and it doesn't move in some way. If you took away this title and just read the poem, as if moments in a deconstructed time suddenly forced to kiss one another, I stared at the ancient space. So the first two lines, you would think it's some kind of a philosophic or possibly even a love poem, and then you go stared at the ancient spacecraft we brought aboard. And so the title prepares you a little bit for that because it's not so disturbing or something that the third line's ancient spacecraft is going to totally rivet you, but you want to sort of play off of things. Sometimes, like you said, you want the poem to be its own little kind of universe. I talked before about having fictive universes. I have a sort of poetic universe. The
And they blend together.
Yeah, but some of these are off on their own, and they should be off on their own. If they weren't, then I'm not pushing myself as much as I should.